house! What am I gonna do? Today I thought I'd share something pretty simple and easy to do. A Pollo Asado, the whole chicken that's grilled slowly on the grill using carryover cooking. Okay, so basically we're gonna take this chicken from here to this point where you can just lay it out flat, because this is how we're gonna grill the bird. We're also gonna be getting underneath the skin and seasoning it up. And how do we get from this to this? Very easy. First thing you wanna do, wash your bird, dry it down. Let's look at the chicken. First of all, breast side up, backbone. What we're doing is we're taking this backbone out, fold it in half and cook. So first thing we do is we're gonna flip it over. Woo! There you go, little acrobatics. Yay! And we're gonna start pulling some of the stuff out of it. When you get a chicken, you usually have neck bones. We're gonna put that to the side, organs, hearts, livers, whatever. And the main reason why we put that aside is we can use that later for making stock out of it. Next thing we do, flip it over. Like I said, look at the backbone. You want a heavy knife, something that you can put some power into. I generally like to score the back of my chicken just so I can see what's going on first. Try to get as close as to the neck bone as possible, so I've got more of the meat right here. So I'm just gonna come in here and you're cracking his back. Urgh, like you are a chiropractor. Come on, chicken. Let's crack that back. Woo! Then we come back on this side. Sorry about that. I had too much coffee this morning. We're gonna go ahead and get this side now. Do the same thing. Kind of score it first. You know, sorry about that. My cameraman is a piece of Gorilla Tape, which is holding the camera at an angle so we can see. This side, you've scored it so you can see it. It's gonna be a little more difficult. You wanna be careful not to cut your fingers off, but basically you're gonna come back here and crack the bone all the way through. You can hear it. It comes out pretty easy. Like, the trick is heavy, heavy, heavy knife. And you can hear it cracking right there. You got to put a little pressure on there to get that through. But once you get it, it's pretty easy. So now you got this other beautiful bone. You can use that for stock as well. So now, if we look on the inside, we can see all how it's split open. So what you want to do is you want to take this chicken, flip it over. You want to give it a little pull and a crack, and it's flat. You want to do the same thing with your legs. Make sure your legs are unattached. Crack open your, you hear that? Hear that? Crack this guy open, and you'll hear the snap in it. It's kind of sadistic, huh? Oh, God, I'll tell you the truth. Again, I've had too much coffee this morning. So now we get to this point right here. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make our marinade and start seasoning up this chicken. So one of the things I like to do is make my own seasoning to flavor the bird with before we do the wet marinade. I've got taco seasoning I made, but just for the home cook, make it easier. You know, you can go out to the store and get something like carne asada seasoning. You can go ahead and get this. Is always like this is a little bit of mojo rub. It's a little citrus blend. And what I like about this when I do cochinita pibil, it's that Yucatan flavor of the sour. So that sour orange flavor added. And you can add a little bit of that to it. The other thing I like to do, I call it Abuela Secret. Chicken bouillon powder. One of the things I had to get used to when I was first learning to cook Mexican food was that they use bouillon in a lot of their things rather than making chicken stock. You know, being French culinary trained, it just blew my mind. It's like, you can't do that. That's a travesty. You know, you're a Philistine now. You know, you want to go ahead and add some black pepper as well, and kosher salt. Always kosher salt. And right here, I made enough for about 2 birds. Ooh, it's good. So that's going to be our dry mix. Let's go ahead and go on to the wet mix. So we're going to start off with my mixer. And we're going to take something called ACHIOTE. ACHIOTE is a paste made from the annatto seed. It's got sort of a sour, bitter flavor. Again, that's the flavor of the Yucatan. And I'm going to take a whole block. You can usually buy it in a block like this at the store. Pretty easy to find. I've even found it at Walmart, of all places, but I usually go to Latin Market. So I put that in there with that. And it's also going to get this beautiful red color. You know, when you see like these marinades, Mexican cooking, there's this beautiful dark red color. This is what it comes from. Yeah! We're gonna go ahead and add some chipotles, whichever brand you like. I'd put about 3 or so, 3, 4, depends what you like. You know what? I'm not afraid. This is mojo picante. Always make sure you shake this stuff up really good because all its sediments at the bottom. Pour a little bit of that in there. Nice and wet. We're going to add some chipotle mojo as well. Like I said before, I'm not afraid of the heat. We'll put some of that in there too. And that should give us a nice little wet marinade on that guy. The final thing you want to do with this also is a little bit of tomato sauce. Like I said, about 1 can of the larger size tomato sauce. Put that in there. I like my cumin seed. You can use cumin powder. I just like the potency of the seed myself. And from here, we are going to blend this guy up. Not gonna talk over it, but now it's gonna be loud. So you get a nice well blend on there at that point. This is what you're looking for. Just a nice, thick, syrupy kind of thing. We're ready to go ahead and dry rub season it. You want to create pockets under the skin. Everything you want to flavor this chicken, you want under the skin. On top of the skin will give you flavor, but will not flavor the chicken itself. And that's one of the best parts about this, is all that flavor. So basically you stick your finger in there, kind of like you do for Thanksgiving for turkey. Pull back the skin. You want to keep it attached as much as possible. And you see it stretch a little bit. I'm not really worried about the wings too much because they'll get plenty of flavor from just the marinade itself. So take that beautiful dry rub we made earlier and pull back the pocket. Just kind of get it in there. One of the things you want to make sure, I like to leave the skin attached right down the middle of the breast. That way it's kind of separated. Make sure that the seasoning goes to one side, not the other. We just pull this back, drop it in there, just kind of massage it on in there. Yeah, you like being massaged, huh? So you go into the spa with your chicken. Chicken spa massage. Next big thing. And it's okay to love your food, but not love your food. That was weird, sorry. Let's keep going. And you can kind of see how we're getting all that flavor up in there, especially in the thigh and the legs, you know, because that dark meat is always so juicy and flavorful. And that's the other thing. With this, you're gonna get the breast nice and marinated and moist, so they're gonna stay a little bit juicier. Also, what I like to do is I like to pack some of this on the top, just to give that chicken some flavor right there. And let's go ahead and flip this bad boy over. And we're gonna go ahead and flavor the bottom as well. Gotta get this all over the place. There we go. All right. So we usually let this sit for a while. After it sits for a while, it just kind of cures the chicken a little bit, gives a little bit more flavor to it. I've got a piece that's already been sitting for a while, and it's looking pretty good. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take that beautiful marinade we made earlier, and again, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna take some of that marinade and just... One of the things I've done to make it a little bit easier for myself is put that marinade in a squeeze bottle, and less mess makes it a lot easier. I just thought of it a little while ago. I don't know why I haven't thought of it before. I'm an idiot. So let's pull back that skin like we had before, and we're just gonna squeeze some of this marinade. There we go. And it just goes in there and just kind of, again, massage it all the way down. Yeah, this is definitely a lot cleaner. And we can get it, watch this, get it all the way down that leg, all up in the meat. That's looking beautiful. Do the same thing here. And now we got that meat on there. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this along with the other bird that I've got, and let's just go ahead and, ooh, got it all over the place, didn't I? Oh well. We're just gonna go ahead and squirt this all up on here, and we're gonna let this marinate 6 to 8 hours. I mean, you can go 24 hours if you want. You let it sit in your refrigerator overnight, get all that juice. Look, oh, that's looking good, huh? Woo, that's beautiful. Man, I'm already hungry. One thing I like to do too is after it sits, I like to let it come to room temperature before I grill it. The reason being, once it's room temperature, it's gonna cook a little more evenly, and you're not gonna have any cold spots. And it's gonna just help with the overall cooking. We're gonna go ahead and throw this in the refrigerator, let it marinate. We'll see you in a few hours, and we'll begin grilling. You tell I'm wearing a little bit different clothes. I've got my very favorite apron on. This is from Uncommon Threads, and I think this is the coolest apron. They gave this one to me at a food show, and they just make really good chef clothing. It's really cool stuff. You should check it out. So our chicken's been marinating for about 24 hours. You can see how beautiful color. I've got my grill on, and one of the things that's really important I'll show you is I've got these two burners on, this one on high, this one on mid, this one completely off. And the reason why this is completely off, this is going to be our cool side. We're going to do sort of a carryover cooking, and you'll see why we're doing this. I've also got some wood chips that I've had soaking, some mesquite, because everybody knows mesquite is perfect with Mexican food. First, I'm going to go ahead and salt and pepper the skins of the chicken. It's always good to season your chicken. I particularly like to use cracked black pepper. If you get a pepper grinder, you can do it. You can always buy one of these grinders like this that are built together. You know, the fresh pepper always makes a difference. One of the things you want to do is you want to retain also the juice that you marinated your chicken in, because we're going to bake your chicken while we're doing it. You want to go ahead and spray that grill down really good before you put your chicken down. It's nice and wet. We're going to go ahead and do the chicken's breast side up, because this is going to take about an hour or so to cook it. So we're going to start by flipping the chicken over, just give it a little healthy spray just so that way it stays. And we're going to put it in the middle. If you notice, I put it on its bone side down. Basically, we want to cook the bottom of it first, get those bones nice and hot. It's going to help you get the thicker parts of the chicken cooking and going. We go ahead and take our other guy right here, and we'll put this right over here as well. Go ahead and do this. Get these two guys going. And we're going to go ahead and close our grill. Flip this up and get back. Ooh, we're getting smoked out here, man. Go ahead and let this thing get up to about 500 degrees and let it do its thing. We will take about 20 minutes, let it cook, and then we're going to go ahead and flip it over. All right, so it's been about 20 minutes. We're going to go ahead and turn these chickens around. See, it's getting a little char on there. You gotta watch your fire. You don't want it to burn, but you want some flavor in there. You need to grab a couple of tongs. I'm just going to pull this out a little bit. Try not to destroy the skin if you can't help it. A little brush on the grill, that way you get some of that fat off of there. Stop catching fire, chicken fat. It is charring good, huh? You know what? A little ski wood there. So also the fire starting to go out a little bit, the smoke. So what I'm going to do is in my smoke box, I'm going to add a little bit more mesquite wood right on top. It's been soaking. You know, one of the tricks I always tell you when you're smoking, try not to let it smoke more than 30 minutes. There's a chemical reaction that happens, and it turns good smoke into bad smoke. All right, go ahead and spray it again, because I really want to keep that skin. That skin's really delicious when it's running. It's almost like crackling. And you want to take the chicken. You see that char? It's perfect. You know, one of the things about Latin food, Mexican food, is that char. That char is a lot of flavor. Now, one thing that we're going to do also, we're going to go ahead and baste it with that sauce. Get it all wet. We'll go ahead and baste this side before we put it down again. Do a little spray. There we go. Take that bad boy. It's going to flip them right on over. The whole thing is we just keep flipping every 20 minutes. And we'll do it about 3-4 times. And it's just basically cooking the chicken. We want to get the chicken to the internal temperature of about 160, 156. Let's go ahead and close this bad boy. And let's go for another 20 minutes. All right, look at these beauties. They get nice. You see all that beautiful color on them. We got about 20 more minutes to go. And while it's cooking, I thought we'd do the accoutrements. Nothing's better than some jalapenos and some cebollitas, Mexican green onions. So what I'm going to do is just throw them right on top. I'm going to let all these guys cook and char a little bit. Salt, pepper, a little olive oil on there. And we're going to go ahead and let these cook up a little bit. In the last second, we're going to throw them in the grill, get char. We're going to flip these bad boys over one more time. You can see this color coming to them. It's getting a nice dark on it. One more time, rub them all down with a little bit of the marinade. Just be easy with it, so we're not taking off that crust. Just getting in there. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw it back on the side. We're gonna do a real quick test just to see where we're at temperature-wise. But first, let's go ahead and just flop it over. Oh, that's looking beautiful. So let's go ahead and just do a temperature and leg. So right now we are looking about 134 right there. It's actually even. The breasts are about 134 too. We're looking good right there. Yeah, we're getting pretty close, man. Another 20 minutes and we'll be good to go. Looks like we're rocking and rolling. These guys are cooking beautifully. So we'll go ahead and take this out. Close this down. Got our timer set for another 20 minutes. And we'll be done afterwards. All right, so take a look. You can see now at this point, our veggies are getting some blister, get some nice char. These onions take a little while to cook. So I generally like to start them up here. He's starting to get the color. You know, they're pretty dense. And what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna go ahead and start throwing these guys on this. And make sure your top rack is on nice and tight. Oh my goodness, I haven't had margaritas yet, and I'm already at this point. So we take all these guys, get all of them off, like so. Jalapenos are where they need to be. Oh, you hear that pop? That's beautiful. Love that pop. I mean, that just feels beautiful right there. I'll take the thermometer, check the legs first. Yep, looks like we're about done now. Okay, let's just go ahead and move this one off. Oh, this is a big, huge boy. Look at this. Woo, look how beautiful that is. But the dogs get crazy whenever I cook. Matter of fact, look at this one right here. Looking for scraps. So I've been roasting my jalapenos. I like them to sweat and get a little wrinkly. I don't like to char them too much because to me then it just becomes a little too burnt, which is strange because this burnt here is beautiful, delicious. Here's our plate of chicken, Pollo Asado. You can eat this with beans and rice. You can eat this and pull the meat off and make a taco. You can do whatever you want, but this is basically the final dish. This is a little special meal that we're cooking for a friend of ours. He used to hang one of his paintings at Araña, and he's going to be giving me one of the original paintings, the first one he ever put, and we're going to be hanging it at our house. And as a thank you, I thought I'd drop him off some chicken.
Oh! Oh, that's nice. That's so nice. Okay.
We already did to ours.
Oh. No, it's not ready.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, man. Saturday night feast. Thank you so much.
You got it, brother.
You
You
made
got
my
it.
day.
You got it, man. Oh, you make my day. Thanks for watching, everybody. This is a lot of fun, and there's more to come. If you want to see future installments, please be sure to give me a like and click the subscribe button. Be sure to follow me over on my Instagram page at PAPIER PLATES. If you try this at home, take a snap and tag me. You can also DM me if you have any questions. And remember, always cook with love.